Good morning, everybody. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers and father figures here in the church and through Zoom. Welcome to the Universalist Church, where love is the spirit. We're glad you are here in the sanctuary or anywhere in the world, especially those visiting or returning after a time away. I'm Mike Zanta, one of your representatives on our Board of Trustees. If you're a visitor, we hope you'll talk with our welcome team or visit our webpage, westhartforduu.org, to learn more about us. Our guest book or online contact page will help you get onto our electronic mailing list. Our electronic communications are the best way for us to stay connected. We look forward to helping you become part of the Universalist Church. Masks are always welcome here. We encourage you to stay updated with your vaccinations and boosters. If you'd like a mask, our ushers have some that we're happy to provide to you. After worship, we'll have fellowship and Fisk Hall and through Zoom. If you need help finding your way to Fisk Hall for a fellowship hour, any member of the church will be happy to guide you. Just look for someone wearing a Universalist Church name tag. You can find the link for Zoom in your weekly news or our Breeze calendar. If you aren't getting the weekly news, please sign up for it on our website. And now, I invite those present here in the sanctuary and those watching online to take a moment to make your mobile phone silent, turn off your email, put away your keyboards, and settle in for our worship.
Inside of my world, but she's just like a maze where all the walls all continually change. Now I've done all I can to stand on the steps with my heart in my hand. Now I'm starting to see nothing to do with me. Fathers, be good to your daughters. Daughters will love like you do. Girls become lovers who turn into mothers. So mothers, be good to your daughters too. Skin, it's the same she's been standing in since the day that she watched him walking away. Now she's left cleaning up the mess he made. So fathers, be good to your daughters. Daughters will love like you do. Who turn into mothers. So mothers, be good to your daughters. Boys, you can break. You find out how much they can take. Boys will be strong. Boys soldier on. But boys would be lost without the warmth of a good woman's heart. On behalf of every man, looking out for every girl. You are the guide and the weight of the world. Fathers, be good to your daughters. The daughters will love like you do. Girls become lovers who turn into mothers. So mothers, be good to your daughters too. So mothers, be good to your daughters too. So mothers, be good to your daughters too.
Good morning, everyone. Beautiful Sunday morning. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers, physical fathers, emotional fathers, spiritual fathers, fathers by proxy, fathers by assignment, in whatever way you find that you are a father. Happy Father's Day to you. It is good to be back in front of you again. This congregation holds a very special place in my heart, and it is so good to be back with you. Our call to worship this morning was written by a ministerial colleague of mine, the Reverend Sunshine Jeremiah Wolf, and it's entitled In Faith. This is a congregation that gathers in faith, not faith in one religion or one God, or any one way. We gather in faith of the power of diversity, the power of love, and the hope of a world transformed by our care. We gather in faith in ourselves and those around us, not a faith that requires perfection or rightness in one another, rather a faith that in our shared imperfection we may learn to stumble and fall together. Faith that we will help one another to rise and to try again and again. We are Unitarian Universalists. Come, let us worship together. Chalice lighting, it's been a minute. So let's see. Y'all laughing because y'all know. Me and the Chalice haven't always gotten along the best, but since I had some help to learn, and it's been a while, you gonna be nice to me today? Come on. Of course I put the wig out. This is, it's like, okay. Come on, you. And now the lighter doesn't want to stay lit, but that's all right. We just keep going. Come on, you. Be good to me. There we go. There's a little flame. Never give up on the flame. Our chalice lighting this morning was written by Elizabeth Harding and is entitled A Symbol of Learning and Love. We Unitarian Universalists don't drink from the chalice. Instead, we use it to hold the flame. The center of the chalice keeps the fire small. The flame doesn't blind us. It doesn't burn us. It gives us light so we can see all the different things in the universe, even the invisible ones, because the Unitarian Universalist flame is a light of learning. The flaming chalice is a symbol of learning and of love. It's our symbol, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. Our opening hymn this morning is at number 389 in the gray hymnal. I'll give you a minute to turn to that page because I'm turning to that page as well. This hymn is entitled Gathered Here. Let's stand as we are willing and able and sing Gathered Here. Let's sing it through twice. I say that to you every time I preach, and it's true because you are always in fine voice. Please join me in speaking the words of our affirmation, our covenant, as printed in the order of service. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to speak the truth in love, and to help one another. Thank you, everyone. Now, I know we don't have a lot of kids in the building today, but we may have some kids watching online, and I know I still have a kid at heart, and I'm betting some of you too. So I brought a story with me for the Time for All Ages this morning entitled The Banana Tree Fable. Benny Banana Tree was a majestic tree, but it seemed to him that all the other plants in the jungle were better than he was. The other flowers had enormous, gorgeous, fragrant blooms. His flowers seemed insignificant next to theirs, and his branches were shorter than a lot of the other trees. All Benny noticed were his shortcomings. Ophelia Orchid always seemed to be making fun of Benny. "Oh, look at my newest flower," she said, "and smell the delicious aroma, so sweet and luscious. I can't wait until my other buds open. Yours will never be this amazing." Manny Mangrove Tree was always bragging too. "Just look how my tremendous roots grace the earth below, and my limbs climb high in the sky, spreading out ever more beautifully each year. I'm a perfect tree of life, providing shelter for untold numbers of creatures." Even the vines were mean to Benny. "We're the glue that holds the jungle together," they exclaimed. "What good are you?" Benny just sighed and wished he had some redeeming quality that the jungle needed. One day, a whole colony of monkeys arrived. No one in the jungle ever heard such a clatter and a chatter as when the monkeys spotted Benny. "Oh, look at the treasure we found! These are the biggest, sweetest bananas in the world. Thanks to this banana tree, tonight we feast," said the head monkey. From then on, as Benny gave out all the bananas the monkeys could desire, Ophelia gave up on her attempts to get them to notice her. Manny was in awe of how Benny provided for them, and the vines stopped bragging too. Finally, Benny's inner beauty shone through bright and clear. "Well, what do you know?" he said, beaming with pride. "I am here for a reason, and I'm special too." Like Benny, we are all unique. We may be darker, lighter, taller, shorter, bigger, smaller, or poorer than others, but we each have our own special and unique beauty. Have you found yours? No one is just like you. You have unique talents that others don't have. You've gained wisdom that others seek. Your experiences from the day you were born have combined to produce the wonderful person you are today. There will always be Ophelias and Mannies in the world to let you know how they excel in their own areas. But that doesn't mean that you are any less value than they are. What you have is just as marvelous. It's up to you to find your inner beauty and let it shine. As long as you continue to learn and grow, your inner beauty will sparkle brighter and brighter. And it all starts with accepting yourself for who you are, appreciating your special beauty that no one in this world has except for you. Our voluntary offering, the sharing of our resources for our shared work as a religious community, is a spiritual practice for us. By offering your time, talent, and treasure to this community, you help us serve this congregation's members, friends, and wider community. As part of that service, we share our general offering each week with organizations that do work in the world that brings us ever closer to creating the beloved community. This month, we share our offering with UU the Vote. UU the Vote is an initiative created by the Unitarian Universalist Association's Side with Love team, providing UUs an easy-to-engage opportunity to bring our democratic values to life in the crucial struggle to build a genuine multiracial democracy. UU the Vote engages people in voter registration, issue education, get out the vote drives, voter protection, state leadership development, and more. UU the Vote does year-round movement-building work toward building a truly inclusive democracy. To give electronically, please use the QR code in your order of service, the links in the description, or those on our website to make your donation to our offering. Our offering will now be gratefully received here in the sanctuary.
Here's another morning. Soon she'll be waking up. I watch her and wonder if there's a better word for love. So many times I've told her it never seems enough. So I'll keep searching for a better word for love. Mumbling, stumbling, wondering when I find a way. I know she knows there's nothing more to say. Tonight when I'm out walking, I'll ask the stars above if out there somewhere there's a better word for love. Mumbling, stumbling, wondering when I find a way. I know she knows there's nothing more to say. So here's another just hold her tight till there's a better word for love. Yeah, I guess I'll just hold her tight till there's a better word for love.
May these gifts sustain the work we do together, the life of this community, and the wider world of which we are a part. And may we all deepen our understanding of our individual and collective identities and continue to respect each other's values. Thank you for your generosity this morning. Thank you. Grab your gray hymnals again. We have a congregational responsive reading, which you'll find at number 466. It's entitled Religion and was written by Vincent B. Silliman. As before, I'll read the Roman text. Please respond with the italics. And if everybody's ready, let's go. Let religion be to us life and joy.
Let it be a voice of renewing challenge to the best we have and may be. Let it be a call to generous action.
Let religion be to us a dissatisfaction, with things that are, which bids us serve more eagerly the true and right.
Let it be the sorrow that opens for us the way of sympathy, understanding, and service to our community.
Let religion be to us the wonder and lure of that which is only partly known and understood.
And high glories in nature's majesty and beauty, and a heart that rejoices in deeds of kindness and courage.
Let religion be to us security and serenity because of its truth and beauty, and because of all the enduring worth and power of the loyalties which it engenders.
Let it be to us hope and purpose, and the discovering of opportunities to express our best through daily tasks.
Religion, uniting us with all that is admirable in human beings everywhere.
Holding before our eyes a prospect of the better life for humankind, which each may help to make actual.
Thank you, everyone. Please join me now in singing the Doxology, which is printed in your order of service. Praise God for love.
Praise God for beauty everywhere. Praise God for hope of victory. Praise God for truth that makes us free.
Thank you, everyone. As we begin our time of prayer and reflection, let us open our hearts to the concerns of people in this community and those beyond. It is my pleasure this morning to share wonderful news. Walt G., Peggy G's husband, is now in a step-down unit from the ICU at St. Francis. He is slowly getting his speech back and will be moving to rehab sometime next week. He is grateful, as is Peggy, for all the love and support of this community. And I say we raise hands in joy for Walt G. and his improved condition. Karen H. is still struggling with the after effects of her accident. She still has days when the pain across her chest and in her lower abdomen is hard to handle. She is grateful for the visits, calls, and cards she has received. And let us raise our hands again as we send love, healing energy, and strength to Walt and Peggy G. and to Karen H. as they continue their journeys. May this congregation's care and positive vibes sustain and support them now and always. I want to share with you a reading entitled Imperfectly Divine, written by Alex Klingenberg. Spirit of life, earth and sea and sky, place of deep longing in my heart, find your way from silence to voice. Give me strength and courage to speak the truth through my life, for I am a creature of the universe, small but infinite, a momentary body in this sea of life, and also the sea itself. I am a gathered bit of energy and one who gathers, a creator and creation. Let me not hold too tightly to one form and lose the other, for we are not form but process, ever changing and ever renewing. Help us see that we are neither the beginning nor the end, but something perfectly natural and imperfectly divine. Please join your voices as we sing Spirit of Life.
A Religion for Greatness by Clarence Skinner. Clarence R. Skinner was the preeminent social prophet of the Universalist Church during the first half of this century. His name is memorialized today in an annual award given at the General Assembly to the sermon preached in our denomination that best exemplifies the social principles of Unitarian Universalism. As he approached retirement in 1945, Skinner offered his vision of the message that the Universalist Church had to present in his book, A Religion for Greatness. This reading comes from the chapter on racism, and it is presented as Skinner wrote it, without changing the male gender references that were common speech at the time. The religion of the unities and universals is a radical cure. It gets down to the roots out of which prejudice grows. It digs into the soil of man's selfishness, superstitions, and distortions. It destroys the vicious partialisms which would lock men into divisive cells of race, denying them the common rights of humanity. This enemy must be routed on every front: economic, social, biological, and cultural. The only way to rout it is to supplant the fears and errors of partialism by a vigorous, realistic religion of universalism. For every denial, we must make an assertion. Man must enlarge the borders of his consciousness to include the human race. We must think, feel, and act in universe terms, and thus see how petty and sinful are the partialisms of our lesser selves. We must welcome differences, because life in a varied world is richer than life in uniformity. We must recognize the rightful place of color, shape, and history in a syncretic culture. If we see life steadily and see it whole, we can appreciate all the parts. The part becomes misunderstood only when we see it without relationships as an end in itself. One race is no more necessary than one kind of tree or one kind of horse. Each has its own genius and may contribute to a life that is rounded, divine, and complete. It is a time for greatness. There must be a religion for greatness to meet the need of the time.
When we're not together, I will sing you this lullaby. Arms around you, soothe your cries. Lullaby, lullaby. When the stars begin to shine and the crescent moon arrives, like a porch swing in the sky. Lullaby, lullaby. In the bath and into bed, read a book, then pray, and when you hear this song inside your head, lullaby, lullaby. When we're not together, I will sing you this lullaby. Arms around you, soothe your cries. Lullaby, lullaby. Tender girl and gentle boy, Daddy's everlasting joy. In my heart you'll always be, chasing dreams with me. When we're not together, I will sing you this lullaby. Arms around you, soothe your cries. Lullaby, lullaby. Arms around you, soothe your cries. Lullaby, lullaby.
My sermon this morning is entitled Identity and Values. Who are we, really? With our annual conference, General Assembly, right around the corner, today I want to explore the concepts of identity and values. Every year, the Unitarian Universalist Association, the UUA, holds an annual meeting called General Assembly. It's where we gather, worship, witness, learn, connect, and make policy for the association through the democratic process. Anyone may attend, and congregations certify annually to have the right to have voting delegates who represent them at the meeting. This year's theme is Love Unites, Stories Ignite. It calls attention to, and celebrates the profound impact of love as a binding force that transcends boundaries and encourages connections with our faith community and beyond. I want to begin by encouraging us all to embrace our identity. Where you hear the word I in the following passage, please focus on yourself, your name, your values, and your identity. I accept that I am the person I am meant to be. My circumstances, physical appearance, and personality are all part of my Creator's divine plan. I love the person I am. When I am faced with negative circumstances, I refuse to give in to feeling discouraged. Instead, I use the positive virtues I am blessed with to deal with the situation and come out victorious. I realize there may sometimes be others around me who dislike me for whatever reason. Even so, I am satisfied with knowing I am the best me I can be. My body and facial features may be different than what society deems flawless, but I am exactly how I should be. So I also embrace my physical appearance. I embrace my identity. I hope that many, if not most of you, have seen the materials comprising the proposed Article 2 revision. Let's review the history of Article 2 briefly. Article 2 is one of the C bylaws dating to the 1961 merger of the American Unitarian Association and the Universalist Church of America. Much of the C bylaws reflects compromises made to achieve the merger, which formed what we now know as the Unitarian Universalist Association, more commonly referred to as the UUA. It's worth mentioning that ours is a living tradition in which we regularly commit ourselves to revisiting our principles and purposes to ensure relevance. As we grow in understanding, our principles and purposes grow too. Since new occasions teach new duties, we must continue to examine our principles and purposes to see what's missing, what's no longer important, and whether the language clearly communicates our core values in current times. The current Article 2 contains the beloved principles and purposes that so many of us grew up with, which may have been part of our first exposure to Unitarian Universalism. Our current principles and purposes were last revised in 1987. Proposed changes to Article 2 began to be discussed in 2017. Discussions have continued, including a proposal that changed women and men in the second source to people, a proposed change to the first principle to all beings instead of all people, and the grassroots movement toward the eighth principle addressing racism. Our bylaws strictly define how Article 2 can be changed. In addition to the regular 15-year review, the UUA is required to create an Article 2 study commission when any changes are considered, unless there's overwhelming support for the specific change. In the fall of 2020, the Article 2 Study Commission was convened with a charge developed by the Board of Trustees in consultation with the 2018 and 2019 General Assemblies, the history of Article 2 and the study process. In spring of 2021, the study commission began hosting theological panel discussions with surveys to gain an understanding of the values and sources of inspiration shared amongst UUs. At General Assembly 2021, the Article 2 study process was introduced in a general session and attendees were engaged in focus groups. The fall of 2021 saw the development of congregational resources for small group ministry and group discussion. Focus groups, surveys, and individual interviews continued through the winter and spring of 2022. Draft language was prepared and shared during the general sessions at the 2022 General Assembly. Are you getting the idea this process doesn't happen overnight? The Article 2 Study Commission completed the final draft of their revisions in October of 2023. Amendments were required to be submitted by February 1st of this year, 2024, and from Thursday, June 20th through Sunday, June 23rd, Unitarian Universalists from all over the world will gather virtually to learn, discuss, worship, and vote on important issues. So today, I want to focus on the shared values that are listed in section C-2.2 of the Article 2 proposal. They are prefaced with, love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our shared values. We are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. I've spoken to you about love before from this pulpit. As a refresher, I spoke about eros, romantic love, storge, familial love between parents and children and between siblings, agape, that perfect, immeasurable, incomparable love that God has for humankind, and philia, sibling-friendly love. Now, philia is different than storge. I would say that philia is the type of love that is at the center of our shared values as you use. If you've looked at the graphic included with the Article 2 proposal, you'll see love at the center. I agree with the members of the commission that love should be at the center of who we are and what we do. Inseparable from one another, these shared values are interdependence. We honor the interdependent web of all existence. With reverence for the great web of life and humility, we acknowledge our place in it. We covenant to protect earth and all beings from exploitation. We will create and nurture sustainable relationships of care and respect, mutuality, and justice. We will work to repair harm and damaged relationships. As part of the interdependent web, we cannot do without each other. That's what interdependence means. The dependence of two or more people or things on each other. We, as perfectly imperfect human beings, are interdependent. We are connected, attached, related, linked, tied, and some might even say we are bonded. We need each other, even if we sometimes forget just how much we need each other. The second value is pluralism. We celebrate that we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, and theology. We covenant to learn the truth from one another. In our free and responsible search for truth and meaning, we embrace our differences and commonalities with love, curiosity, and respect. Pluralism, in modern definition, is a situation in which people of different social classes, religions, races, etc., are living together in a society but continue to have their own traditions and interests. It's about more than just ignoring the differences or acting like they don't exist. It's about being willing to learn about each other's differences, live your lives, and interact together for the common good. It's an understanding that more than one set of beliefs or practices can simultaneously be at least partially true or correct. Another of the values is justice. We work to be diverse, multicultural, beloved communities where all thrive. We covenant to dismantle racism and all forms of systemic oppression. We support the use of inclusive democratic processes to make decisions within our congregations, our association, and society at large. A simple definition of justice could be fairness in the way that people are treated. As a noun, it's defined as the quality of being just, righteousness, equitableness, or moral rightness to uphold the justice of a cause. In his letter from Birmingham jail, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." Transformation is the next value we'll discuss. We adapt to the changing world. We covenant to collectively transform and grow spiritually and ethically. Openness to change is fundamental to our Unitarian and Universalist heritages, never complete and never perfect. Transformation can be defined as a thorough or dramatic change in form or appearance, a metamorphosis during the life cycle of a living creature or animal, like what a caterpillar undergoes to become a butterfly, or an infant to become an adult. I believe the key here is in thorough or dramatic change, so that the thing or person is improved. A simple or easy change may not fit the bill. Another of the values we're discussing is generosity. We cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. We covenant to freely and compassionately share our faith, presence, and resources. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. Generosity can be defined as the spirit and action of freely and frequently giving to others. Ebenezer Scrooge was not originally known for his generosity. A 2015 article about the 20 most generous people in the world included people like Michael Dell, Gordon Moore, who was the co-founder of Intel, and Warren Buffett. There are also generous everyday people like Mark Bustos, who spends his Sundays giving free haircuts in Union Square, or Stephen Sutton, who at age 15 set a goal to raise 10,000 pounds sterling for the Teenage Cancer Trust in Great Britain. He himself was fighting cancer and wanted to help others. His gift, promoted by supporters, celebrities, and on social media, eventually reached 3.2 million pounds sterling. Another of the values, and the last one we'll cover in this sermon, is equity. We declare that every person has the right to flourish with inherent dignity and worthiness. We covenant to use our time, wisdom, attention, and money to build and sustain fully accessible and inclusive communities. Equity is defined as the quality of being fair and impartial, not the same as equality, which means to provide the same to all. Equity recognizes that we don't all start from the same place and must acknowledge and adjust the imbalances we see. It means that everyone is provided with resources specific to their needs to create a fair environment that helps provide opportunities for individuals who need them. May you be blessed with love at the center of your life in the weeks, months, and years ahead, and may the values of interdependence, equity, transformation, pluralism, generosity, and justice be woven throughout your thoughts, actions, and emotions moving forward. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing hymn number 65, The Sweet June Days. Engage with the world in peace. Have courage. Hold on to what is good. Return to no person evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the suffering. Honor all beings. Please be seated, relax, and listen to our postlude, In the Light.
When I was young, I needed someone to get me through, to make me strong. You were there through my ups and downs, my turnarounds, my lost and founds. You held me in the light, held me in the light. You held me in the light. As I grew, we sometimes would fight when I strayed from the path you thought was right. You were there to shine a light, to show me the way through my darkest night. You held me in the light, held me in the light. You held me in the light. In the end, all that is real is the sum of all we've made each other feel, through the good and bad, the happy, the sad, the wrong and right, the song of life. You held me in the light, held me in the light. You held me in the light. You held me in the light, held me in the light. You held me in the light. Now it's come, our time to part, but your spirit lives inside my heart. I feel your love, it's with me still, and as long as I live,